Do you suck at playing Guess 666? Then this mobile-friendly guide might just be for you. I'm first explaining Sixer's kit, then moving on to some general tips. You can also use the timestamps in the description to skip to any part you want. Anyway, let's start. Sixer's first passive is Manic Fixation. Sixer gradually gains up to 10% bonus speed, while highlighted survivor is within 30 starts. If the highlighted survivor is not in chase, the speed bonus increases up to 20%. A good little tip for this is the survivors constantly highlighted so you get that good sweet speed bonus. Now onto Sixer's second passive, Bloodhound. Some of Sixer's attack will inflict Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage slowly covers a survivor's health bar with vines. Any health covered by vines cannot be healed. Hemorrhage also lasts for 120 seconds. Survivors inflicted with Hemorrhage will also occasionally drop Blood Orbs, which Sixer can collect to power up Blood Hunt. Each Blood Orb grants Sixer 15 blood. Blood Orbs drop faster when the survivor is sprinting, and slower in chase. Blood Orbs also have a maximum lifespan of 60 seconds. Sixer starts the match with 0 blood, and can hold up to 150. Collecting Blood Orbs also reduces cooldowns by 3 seconds per orb. Killing a survivor also grants 30 blood. All of Sixer's attacks can also hit multiple people at once. Another little tip for this is to collect Blood Orbs if you are not in chase. Sixer's M1 is Carving Slash. It has a cooldown of 2 seconds. This basic attack does 20 damage and each successful hit grants 10 blood. If you have at least 10 blood, you can follow up a main attack with Eviscerate by holding down the attack button. Eviscerate is what I just explained to you. It has a cooldown of 8 seconds, but is reduced to 4 if you land the attack. This attack does a slight lunge forward and does 10 damage and applies Hemorrhage on hit. You also get 15 blood when you hit. However, if you don't hit anyone, you'll be inflicted with Slowness 1 for 2 seconds. Sixer's first ability is Demonic Pursuit. It has a cooldown of 30 seconds. Now here's the real problem on mobile. How do you use Demonic Pursuit? The first way to use it is simply by tapping it. You get the least amount of time to aim and then just perform the leap. This will also do the least amount of damage possible. Personally, I prefer this way because it has a short wind up and is simpler. The second way is to tap and hold. So basically you tap once and then hold. The delay between tapping and holding must be little to none. Just like that. Let me slow it down again to show you. Instead of holding all the way, you can also release it earlier at any time. Well, for lesser damage of course. Also to mention, the wind up for this ability is 0.5 to 1.25 seconds. And for the PC players out there, you just hold down the key for this ability and release it anytime you want. If you hit a survivor within the first 0.8 seconds of a leap, you inflict Hemorrhage and slash the survivor 5 times. Each slash deals damage depending on how long the ability was charged, which means how long you held down the ability button for. It goes from 5.2 to 8 damage per hit, totaling up to 26 to 40 damage. Successfully landing this ability also grants 20 blood. After damaging the survivor, you throw them aside and receive a bit of end lag. This allows them to run away and get a bit of distance. You can also aim Demonic Pursuit upwards to, jump up. This can be helpful in certain situations. I'll cover this later in my tips segment. Sixer's second ability is Infernal Cry. It has a cooldown of 20 seconds. This ability is similar to Cool Kid's Corrupt Nature, except that it has a wider hitbox, and again it can be aimed in any direction. When you hit a survivor with this ability, it forces them to face you. This can mess up their movement and make them run into you. It also inflicts Blindness 2 for 4 seconds towards the survivor, and highlights them to you for 12 seconds. Additionally, survivors with Hemorrhage drop 2 Blood Orbs when hit with this ability. Sixer's third ability is Blood Rush. It has a cooldown of 30 seconds. This is basically Sixer's aura reading ability. Upon using this ability, Sixer stands still for a bit, highlighting survivors. You cannot move while this ability is in use. The highlight duration increases with the distance from the survivors. It goes up to 20 seconds at 200 starts. When Sixer has the blood meter fully maxed out, this ability is replaced with Blood Hunt, which is basically Sixer's ultimate. When this ability is used, Sixer lets out a loud cry, which every survivor on the map can hear. Both Sixer and the survivors will have their screen covered with this red colored tint. This would start a blood hunt for 25 seconds, resetting all of Sixer's cooldowns. During this time, 2 of Sixer's abilities are amplified. The first amplified ability is Demonic Pursuit. It would deal bonus damage based on how much health has been covered by the vines from Hemorrhage effect. Damage increases by 0.4 per every health point that the vines have covered. The second amplified ability is Infernal Cry. It deals 10 damage instead of none, applies speed 1 for 4 seconds and strength 1 for 8 seconds to Sixer. Blindness 2 inflicted to the survivor also lasts 6 seconds instead of 4. More buffs during Blood Hunt include a 4% increase to movement speed and 50% decrease to the terror radius. Sixer cannot be stunned, instead gaining slowness 2 for 3 seconds and helpless 1 for 2 seconds. Sixer sees all survivors every 5 seconds as a flashing red highlight. During a chase, Blood Hunt's timer decreases twice as slowly, and killing a survivor extends the Blood Hunt timer for 15 seconds and resets all cooldowns. During a Blood Hunt, you cannot use Blood Rush. When a Blood Hunt ends, blood is reset to 0 and maximum blood increases by 50, which means you'll need 50 more blood to start another Blood Hunt. Now that I'm fully done explaining Sixer's kit, let's go on to some tips and strategies. Number 1. Marking. It's good to have at least one survivor marked with Hemorrhage at all times so that you can have them drop the blood orbs which are beneficial to you. Also have survivors highlighted for the speed bonus as I mentioned earlier. And the 2 abilities that you can use to mark the survivors with these effects are Eviscerate for Hemorrhage and Infernal Cry for highlighting. Do remember that all abilities can hit multiple targets like Slasher, so make the most out of it, like using your Infernal Cry when there's a big group of people. Number 2. Blood Hunt. Personally, I would recommend you to use this ability before initiating a chase. And it'll be good to have survivors marked with Hemorrhage for a long time when you use this ability, so that you can use Demonic Pursuit on them and get a lot of damage. Number 3. Hitboxes. Sixer has a really massive hitbox, which makes it easy to get stuck on walls. So to counter this, you can just zoom into first person and your problem is gone. Number 4. Looping. Sixer is very loopable, so to counter that, when you're getting looped, you can use Infernal Cry to highlight the survivor for your speed bonus. If that doesn't work, you can aim your Demonic Pursuit upwards onto the obstacle you're getting looped on, and then perch up there and then drop onto the survivor that's looping you. It's a good strategy as well. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions or have any extra tips, you can leave them down in the comments below. And I'll see you in another mobile friendly guide.